Parashat Balak. What is to be the relationship of the people of Israel, the nation of Israel, vis-a-vis the other nations of the world? Are we supposed to interact with them or be isolated from them? Conventional wisdom would have it that isolation is the name of the game, that we are set apart. Parashat Balak, the book of Numbers, chapter 23, verse 9. The false prophet Bilam declares, Ki me Rosh Tzurim erenu, I see Israel from the top of the mountains, umigvaot ashurenu, and from faraway valleys I can look at them, at Israel. Hein am levadad yishkon, they are a nation that dwells alone. Uvagoyim lo yitchashav, and amongst the nations of the world they are not at all considered. But this is not the correct translation. This is certainly not the way Rashi translates it. The last part of the verse, Uvagoyim lo yitchashav, Rashi says, they are not to be counted similar to the way the Gentile nations are counted. Gentile nations which rise to greatness and then disappear. The Jews will never disappear. The Jews will always be there. There's nothing positive about not being held to be important amongst the nations of the world. Our mission is the very antithesis of that. Our mission, as God presented it to Abraham, was very clear. God said to Israel, Ve'escha l'goy gadol, I will make you a great nation. Ki v'cha nivrechu kol mishpachot ha'adama, through you shall be blessed all of the families of the earth. That's Genesis chapter 12, verses 2 and 3. We must be accounted by the nations of the world, because we're supposed to bring them blessing. Now it's true, our task in the world is not to assimilate into them, is not to learn from them their immoral ways. We must teach the world morality. We must teach the world tzedakah u'mishpat, Genesis 18, verses 18 and 19. God says Abraham will be a great nation because I have loved him, known him, chosen him. Because he is teaching his children and the people after him to observe the ways of the Lord, the God of love, and to bring to the world tzedakah u'mishpat, compassionate righteousness and moral justice. Before we received the Ten Commandments, we were told to be a mamlechet kohanim, a kingdom of priest teachers, explains the Seforno, to all of humanity, and a holy nation, an example for all other nations, a light unto the nations of the world. We're not supposed to be isolated. We're supposed to be teaching the world. Yes, not to assimilate into the immorality round about, but certainly to teach the world. Now it's true we couldn't do that for 2,000 years of our exile, but this is the higher meaning of our return to Israel and Zionism today. This is why I was so immensely proud when Benjamin Netanyahu spoke before the Congress of the United States, spoke against a bad deal with Iran, attempted to wake America up and the world up to the true dangers of extremist Islam. If we don't recognize the enemy, we'll never be able to bring compassionate righteousness and moral justice to the world. But we must serve as the conscience of nations. We've taught the world the 10 Commandments. And in 2,000 years, 3,000 years, no nation, no philosopher has come up with a substitute for the 10 Commandments as the consummate picture of morality and sensitivity. But we must influence the world. That is our mission, our God-given task. And so Rashi explains very well. Yes, Am Levadad Yishkon, we are a nation that dwells alone. Our standards and our morality is truly unique. But Uvagoyim lo yitchashav, we're not like the other nations who rise and fall. We live forever. And we will hopefully bring the world into a period of peace and redemption through truly believing in a God of morality and love. Shabbat Shalom.